next part I will be doing, I'm going to do the oil change, which I'm going to do this in 3 parts for the front diff, the oil change, and the transmission hydraulic oil. We're going to go ahead and raise the loader up, and I'm going to show you a cool safety feature that I found that even the dealer was not aware of. So let me cycle the glow plugs. Get the loader raised up. Hopefully you can hear over the tractor. Now, hold on. Let me raise this up a little bit more and then shut it off. Sorry, that's too hard to hear over. Your jack that is for when you're taking your loader off, this will all drop down to support the loader so don't fall over. But there is a feature in here that apparently a lot of people don't realize. Take this pin right here. It's a little hair clip pin on the back of it. Hopefully I can do this without dropping it. Pull that pin out, and there is a piece of channel on there. It's right there on your jack. Take this off with your loader up, right down there where the piston's connected to the end of it there. You take this part, put it down there, make sure it's seated where it's notched out. Make sure it's seated on that, and then seated right there. Come over to the other side. Do the same thing. Pull the pin out. Take the bracket off. Come over here. Again, make sure you put that side down. Now that will sit on there. Now you can just gently let the loader down. Do it very easily. You do not want it to slam on them. Just about there. Okay. Now, so you don't have to worry. You never want to trust the hydraulics because a hose could blow, a seal could blow. But these fit in here, and you see how much height that will give you so that you've got working room. Now, loosen this clamp up there. Sorry, bolt. Loosen this bolt up. And always be careful, make sure you don't forget to put this back, because if you have this out like this, let your loader down, you're going to catch your hoses and could ultimately break something. So just, once you get your bolts loose, move this forward. You got a pull pin right there, pull that. Lift up on the hood. Now you've got plenty of room for getting in here because your loader's up out of the way. your loader supported for safety. Then you can get right to the oil filter, then the bolts underneath. I want to start it up and let it run for a few minutes so that the engine's warmed up. And I'll be back. Okay, I'm on this side, so I'm going to go ahead and take the oil filter off. Usually I go ahead and drain the oil, then do the filter. I would recommend while you're servicing your tractor, pull the key out, lay it up so nobody accidentally starts it. Make sure your rubber seal comes off with your oil filter. Because if your seal sticks on there and you double seal it, you'll more than likely end up with a leak. Now we'll go pull the drain plug out. Right there is your drain plug for your oil. It's just back from the front differential. Again, it's marked with like an orangish color paint. That is a 14 millimeter or 9/16 wrench or socket, whichever most convenient. Let this drain and be back. Okay, I've left the oil drain. Get back under here, put the drain plug back in. Now, not everybody does this, but I was taught years ago by the guy I worked for in the garage to do it. Is to put some oil in your oil filter before you put it on, because otherwise when you're first putting that filter on, there's no oil in it and the paper's dry. And I know there will be people that'll argue you don't need to do this. Well, that's your choice. I've always done it. It's always worked for me. I'll pour oil into it, leave it sit a couple minutes to soak it up, and then pour the extra oil back out and just give it a chance to sit and soak. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, left it soak. I've poured the extra oil out. Make sure you put oil on your O-ring to lubricate that up. And yes, you will end up with a little bit of oil running out, but I just feel that it's a lot safer to do that. So if something works for you, why change? Obviously, it's quite an expensive engine if you have to replace it, so better safe than sorry. Don't over tighten your filter, just snug it. You over tighten it and you can have a very serious problem getting it back apart. I've never over tightened one of mine, but I've come up behind somebody that's over tightened, and that can turn into a real headache. Sorry, it's kind of hard to do that with one hand. Then right here by the filter is your oil fill. Okay, I'll have to come back. Looks like I'm about to get a set of pliers to get that off. Like everything else, overly tight. Okay, I had to use a pair of pliers to get the cap off of it. I'll go ahead and get the oil put in it, topped off, check it. Your dipstick is right over there to the left of the oil filter with yellowish orangish type handle. You can't miss it. Okay, drain plug's in, the oil filter's tight, filled it up. I'll put all the specs for how much oil it shows to hold in the description down below, and I'll put what tools also that you need. So the oil change is done. It's pretty simple. I just got to check it, start it, run it for a couple minutes, shut it off, and recheck it again. Now it's also your preference as far as what oil. I personally like the Shell Rotella 1540. It's supposed to be a synthetic blend oil. I run this in my diesel pickup also. It's always done me good. After I do probably one more oil change, I'm going to switch over and run full synthetic in this. You will need 2-gallon jugs, because I believe the spec shows like 5.25 or 5.28. Again, I'll put down in the description of the exact amount. Start your tractor up once you know your oil level's correct and you've checked it. Make sure that your
lots of things. That's where Jerry
oil light goes off.
With his wife.
Sorry.
And when he died last October, his son, Jerry Lee Lewis III, was living there. He didn't own it. Jerry Lee Lewis, either the man who died or the son.
Okay, once you've got your oil checked, make sure you're at the proper level. Go ahead and start your tractor up. Make sure you wait for your glow plugs to cycle. Make sure that your oil light goes off in the upper left there once you start it. And just get out, look around your oil filter and drain plug, and make sure you don't have any leaks. Now the oil change is complete. While you have the hood up changing the oil, go ahead and check your overflow tank. Make sure it's got plenty of antifreeze. Can't really see it in the camera, I don't believe, but mine's down on minimum, which is the way it came brand new. So I'm going to go ahead and top that off so it's up to the max fill line just for safety.